All right. So we're gonna start our warm up with some squats. So normally we would be skating around the track, right? So you can either go back and forth and try squats, or you can just do them stationary. For this one, so I'm just gonna back up, and I'll do a couple coming towards you, and then I'll back up and do a couple going back. So you can just do a few squats, and then turn around, squats. You can do boot taps if you like, so like reaching down to tap your boot. Just try to make sure you're keeping your back square. So it's mimicking your derby stance as best you can. Getting stuff on my floor. Cool. So a couple more. Really warm those quads up. You can vary your stance a little bit. Do some that are nice and wide. Some that are a little bit tighter. Warm up all those different muscles. Good. Okay, now we're gonna do some side-to-side lunges. So again, ideally we'd be skating around the track, right? So you could get that like lunge as you're going around the corner. You can do these stationary if you're more comfortable, or you can do it the same way you did the squats, where you just kind of go back and forth. So we want you to be kind of just leaning as you roll, if you're gonna do them rolling. All right, so one at a time, kind of leaning on different sides. These are challenging for me on this side. But yeah, so just leaning as far over that one leg as you feel comfortable. Leaning, there you go. You can stabilize on one leg if you'd like, or just engage your core nice and low. So side to side, opening those hips up. You should kind of feel like your hip flexors stretch as you're doing them. And then also continuing to warm up your legs, just those outside muscles now as you're stabilizing. So as deep as you can get, deeper you go, the more muscles you're engaging. Try to keep your shoulders back just the same as you would a normal squat. So think about where your belly button's pointed as best you can. You want shoulders back and your belly button pointing out versus belly button pointed at the floor. So side to side. Good. So give me a couple more of those. Side to side. Good. Excellent. Okay, so then we're gonna move into the toy soldier. So again, these are easier when you're rolling. Remember to keep some flex in your knees. And you're gonna do a boot touch, right? So toe touch as you're rolling, alternating feet. So don't stand up. This is how we fall backwards. I've done it and it sucks. So try and stay in your derby stance with some flex in your knees as you go, and then alternate hand to toe. Yeah. If you want to just stand and do them, you can do that too. And they don't have to come all the way up. Just kind of swing your leg up as high as you feel comfortable. Yeah. And if that's difficult, stability-wise, you can also do elbow to knee. So you can just do, it warms up similar muscles if you feel more comfortable just doing it that way. Good. Good. A couple more of those. Excellent. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna do the skater pushes. So this is the one where you keep one anchor foot. So to begin with, your left foot is gonna be your anchor, and you're only gonna be pushing in and out with your right foot, okay? So as you are skating, left foot's gonna stay, and your right foot's gonna be pushing. Yeah, and then and you're gonna alternate. So that on the way back, your right foot's gonna stay, and your left foot's gonna be pushing. Okay? So just isolate the one foot that's digging in, and then alternate on the way back. Good. All right, so the next one is jogging. If you feel comfortable, you can do this, where you're actually gonna jog on your skates, right? The goal is to not roll, it's just to actually plant your skates. If you're not comfortable with that, you can do butt kickers, where you stand stationary in your stance, and you just kind of bring your skates up to try to kick your own booty. Yeah, so whichever one you feel most comfortable with, either jogging or just booty kickers. Good. It's more challenging than I remember. And I busted foot. Woo. Good. Take out after that one. That one's brutal. So our next one is grapevines. So again, make sure you stay low. Put some flex in your knees, because if you stand straight up, this one's really easy to go backwards. So you're gonna go 1 foot over, right? And then 1 foot behind. So over, behind, behind. And this one's not about speed. Take it at your own pace. The goal is to not roll, right? Or as little roll as you can possibly do. So just staying nice and low, as best you can. Good. So give me one more grapevine, wherever you're at, finish that one up. And then we're gonna move on to the drunken crossover. So give yourself as much room as you can, depending on which direction you're going. And you're just gonna do a nice big step. So you're gonna roll, nice big step, nice big step. Yeah, alternating. So as you roll, big step, big step. Yeah. Nice and low, as best you can. Flexing your knees, so if you do stumble as you alternate feet, you can kind of stumble back onto your other foot. Good. Drunken crossovers. Good. Perfect. Looking good. All right. So then we'll come in and we'll do our stationary ones. So we'll start with windmills. So you can do windmills coming in. So nice big rotation in your shoulders. Warm those shoulders up. Don't go too fast. You can kind of hurt your shoulders. I've done it before where I get really overzealous with these. And then switch directions and go backward. Ooh. Not stretched my back out in a minute, apparently. Woo. Good. Nice big windmills. Good. Next one, we're gonna do the arm swings in the front. So you are not the lead jammer And you can alternate whichever arm goes on top. So you're kind of stretching that shoulder out more. I like to kind of hesitate in the middle just for like a split second to stretch those out. Good. Good. Okay, then let's do our neck. So make sure you have some flex in your knees for these. We don't want anyone falling or passing out. So we're gonna tuck your neck to your chin. So look down at your feet. And then keeping your chin tucked, you're gonna look to the left. As sort of high as you can go. And then when you're comfortable, if you're comfortable, you can grab the top of your helmet and kind of stretch even more on that one. Just pull your helmet kind of into your shoulder. Just feel that extra stretch in your neck. Good, and then come back to the middle, look at your feet, and then look over to your right. And then if you're comfortable, you can take your left hand and kind of pull your helmet towards your left shoulder a little bit. Feel that stretch in your neck. And then come back to center, and you're gonna look up. So do it slowly so you don't fall backwards. As much as you can, try to look like back behind you. Keeping flexing your knees so you don't fall. Good. And then come back to normal. And if you'd like, you can just do some like slow rolls of your neck. Again, keeping some flex in your knees so you don't fall. You can do a couple of these and then switch directions. Oh, those are the best. All right. Beautiful. We're gonna do some shoulder shrugs. So bring your shoulders up to your knees and then roll it back. Did I say knees? I totally said knees. That's weird. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and then roll it back. Good. And then this time when you bring it up to your ears, not your knees, roll it forwards. And then up to your ears and roll it forwards. And then you can throw a couple more in, just rolling it back, rolling it forwards. You can do some opposites if you like. Roll those shoulders out. Good. Now we're gonna do our upper torso circles. So you're gonna stay nice and low. So this is the one that kind of works your lower back, right? So it's not the hula hoop, so we're not spinning our hips. You're trying to move your shoulders around in a circle. So I like to hold my hips to make sure I don't rotate them. Your hips should stay where they are, and you're moving your shoulders in a circle. So do a couple in one direction, and then switch and do a couple in the other direction. Again, keeping some flexing in your knees so you're not rolling and you're not falling. Good. And you're gonna come back to center. This time we're gonna do the hip flexors. So it's like a hula hoop, right? So this time I like to call this the SpongeBob. Bring it around town. Rolling those hips around. So do a couple in one direction. And then switch it up, do a couple in the other direction. Good. All right, and then for this one, you're gonna put your hands on your knees. And I'm probably gonna struggle with this because of my ankle, but you're trying to move your knees in a circle. I don't have much mobility in this ankle, so it's not wanting to give much, but as best you can, you're trying to actually move your knees around and then switch directions. Good. And then shake out those ankles. If you want to do some ankle, I like to kind of put my toe stop like on the front of my toe stop and push my toes into the ground. Both directions. Kind of helps me. Ooh, that doesn't feel too great on my broken ankle, but helps to kind of get that forward flex on your ankle. Okay, how are we feeling in our bodies? Do we feel warm enough? Is there anything that's feeling tight, crampy, painful?
My feet are in pain.
Your feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm on a hard surface.
For sure. And I, you know, that could just be that it's been a minute, right? I know my feet hurt too. Just, it's been a minute since I've had skates on my feet. If that gets worse, Widow, then let me know. Because it could be something that we could work through as far as like lacing or something like that.